Hello there, everyone. Welcome to your English lesson today. Before we start, I would like you to try and retrieve some of the answers to my Spidergram here. Can you remember on Friday we read The Three Goats and the Troll? Can you remember who was the main character, what the problem was, what the repeated phrase was, who were the other characters, and where was the setting? Pause the video here and complete this Spidergram now. Welcome back. Shall we see if we've got the same? So our main character was the troll. Did you get that? Excellent. And the other characters that we had were the three little goats. Now, the setting was in the countryside and it was a fairground and it was by a river. Do you remember? Because the goats wanted to cross the bridge. And that's what the problem was. The goats wanted to cross the bridge. Let me move my picture down there. But the troll would not let them. And what did he keep saying to them? Well, each time that the goats got onto the bridge, they would go trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. And the troll would jump up and shout, "Oi, you cannot cross my river." Do you remember that? Excellent. I hope you've been having a little look through that book and having a go reading it. Okay, so today we're going to be thinking about retelling the story of the three goats and the troll. Now, you're going to be successful if you can recall the events in the story, so the start, the problem, and the resolution, if you can name the characters, and if you can recall those repeated phrases. So before we begin, can you remember how many characters were in the story? And can you remember why the goats wanted to cross the bridge? And can you remember what repeated phrase did the troll use? Pause the video here and have a think about that now. Welcome back. Can you remember? Well, there was 4 characters in the story. The troll, the little goat, the medium-sized goat, and the big goat. There was 4. And why did the goats want to cross the bridge? Well, they wanted to go to the fair, didn't they? They were looking longingly at that fairground. And what repeated phrase did the troll use? He kept saying, "Oi, you cannot cross my river." Do you remember that? We're going to need to remember those key facts later on in our lesson. Okay, so we need to remember how to write the perfect sentence. Okay, do you remember this from last week? So we always must start our sentence with our capital letter. We need to make sure that the letters are formed correctly. We don't forget those finger spaces in between each of the words. We write on the line. We make sure at the end of our sentence we have a full stop. And we must make sure it makes sense. Okay, you're going to need to use these skills today, children, to help you retell the story. Okay, so here I have got some pictures. I'm going to put my camera at the top there. I've got some pictures here from the story. So the first picture is the very start. Now, what kind of sentence would you write about this? I think I'm going to write, "There were 3 goats." I think that's what I'm going to write. Let's see. There were 3 goats. Excellent. Now, can you see I've got my capital letter, I've got my finger spaces in between each of the words, and I've got my full stop. And I'm going to say my sentence again to make sure it makes sense. There were 3 goats. That makes sense, doesn't it? Now, there was also a troll. Can you remember? There was a troll. There was a troll. Okay. There was a troll. And the troll was cross. Now, I've used the word cross here because he is very angry. And sometimes when you're cross and you're angry, we can use the word cross. So the word cross can mean angry, but it can also mean cross to move across something. Now, I've used the same word there, which has 2 different meanings. Okay, so in the story, the troll is saying no one can cross my river. That means to go across something, to move from one point to another point. That's called a homophone when we have a word that has 2 different meanings. Okay, let's move on. So here, the goats are looking longingly at that fairground. It looks fantastic. I think I'd like to go there. Would you? Yes. So the little goat asks, can we go? Let's think of what we could say there. Oh, well, the goats, they wanted to cross the bridge, didn't they? That's right. The goats wanted to go to the fair. Oh, but the troll wouldn't let them. So the little goat, she started to go first. So the little goat went to cross the bridge. Okay. Can you remember what was that repeated phrase? When she goes on the bridge, what was that repeated phrase? That's right, it's trip, trip, trap, trip, trap. I'm going to write that in my next sentence. Excellent, well done. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. We must remember that's our repeated phrase from the story. Okay, let's move on. Did the troll let that little goat cross? No, he did not. He said, go away. Oi, you cannot cross my river. And the little goat ran away. She was scared. She ran away. And then the next goat went to cross the bridge. She felt quite brave. Can you remember that saying again that they did? Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. That's it. Okay. And the troll shouted, oi, you cannot cross my river. Oi, shouted the troll. And a little goat, that goat, she ran away too. Didn't she? She ran away too. She was too scared. She didn't want to cross the bridge. She was frightened of that troll. He does look very scary, doesn't he? Okay. Then the third goat, the biggest goat, she was very brave and very confident. She was going to tell the troll what for, wasn't she? So she went across. And the troll said, oi, you cannot cross my river. But she didn't listen to him. What did she do? She kicked the troll. The goat kicked the troll hard. And off the troll went, whoa, off into the sky. And then they could go across the bridge and go to the fair. So the three goats went to the fair and they had a good time. Now then, children, what I'd like you to do today is you have got your worksheet. I'm going to move my camera down to the bottom. Your worksheet looks like this. And you are going to have a go at, in the big square, drawing a picture from the story. And in the smaller rectangle, you're going to have a go at writing a sentence for each picture. So if you're not sure and you can't remember the story, you can go back to the video from Friday, or you can have a look at the video from today and look at each picture. But I want you to write your own sentence. I don't want you to copy mine. I want you to write your own sentence. Okay? So you're going to retell the story, draw a picture, and write a sentence. Remember, capital letters, finger spaces, full stops. I'm excited to see your work, Year 1. You take care now. Bye.